Peace, everybody, and welcome back to the Black Only. You hear that, Anton Daniels? You and your Aunt Jemima's and your SAMBO'S. I want to welcome you all back to the Black Only News and Entertainment Network. Now, before I get started here, I want to thank everybody who has recently subscribed to my channel. So let's go ahead and get into this. I ran across this live stream that Anton "Shoeshine Boy" Daniels had, and him and his panel of SAMBO'S and Aunt Jemima's were, of course, repeating white people's talking points, white supremacists' talking points. The only person up there to defend true blackness was Fatty. Now, we all know that Anton Daniels and his crew, they're self-hating black people, and they will always talk down on their own people. They will always big up white people, and they use white supremacist talking points on a daily. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you the panel. Here's the panel of Coons and Aunt Jemima's. So let's go ahead on and get into this. I want you guys to listen closely to what they say. I mean, they come out the gate swinging about black people being no good.
Do you guys agree with her? Or do you think that black people should just stay loyal to the black community, black restaurants, supporting black businesses, supporting black people when it comes to entrepreneurship, looking out for your black friends when it comes to in corporate America or anything of that nature?
Now I'm going to pause it right here because I want you guys to understand that every other race of people, or ethnic group, I should say, of people on this planet looks out for their own, except in a lot of cases, black people. And the reason why that is because a lot of black people have the mindset of this lady that you've seen on the screen here, Q. They don't believe you should be race loyal. They don't believe that you should support your own just because they're black people. The Chinese do it. The Chinese has little Chinatown. They support their own. Their money rotates in their community daily and for over a month. Why? Because they support each other. So do Little Italy, the Italians. So do white people. But it seems like when you try to support your own, that's a problem. When black people try to support black people, it seems to be a problem, especially to people like Q, this lady right here, Anton Daniels, and the rest of the SAMBO and Aunt Jemima crew.
Anybody can go ahead.
Why would you do that? Why would you limit yourself like that? Is that what they teach you in business school? Like, why would you limit your options like that? I'm just curious because I haven't been here before. It's my first, so why would you be so boxed in? Like, you think the black community is going to pay for all those bills or something?
See, that's another thing that I don't understand. Who opens up a business only to take black dollars or white dollars or Asian dollars or Hispanic dollars? Whomever comes into your business to spend their money, you take it. You don't tell them, "Oh no, I'm not going to sell my product to you because you're Hispanic or white or Asian." I don't know what these people are talking about. Just because you're black owned doesn't mean that you won't accept money from other ethnic groups. Just because you're black owned and your business may be black centered doesn't mean that you wouldn't take money from other ethnic groups. It's crazy what they're talking about.
I don't know, maybe they're your people, they're your friends.
I get that, but I'm not saying to exclude them. I said, why would you exclude? Why would you keep it like only that box?
I don't
Like,
know.
what would be the reason? Like, you'd open up a business and said white's not allowed? Like, what would be the reason that you would do that?
I agree. Like, I'm loyal to who's loyal to me. I have the same expectations and standards across the board, regardless of whether you're black or not. I'll support black businesses, etc. But if you have bad customer service, or if I feel like you're trying to price gouge or whatever, I'm not coming back.
Okay.
And that goes with any company, any business that you spend your money at. If you feel that they're price gouging, charging you more than they should, you're not going to go back and buy anything there. Hell, you may not even buy it there the first time when you go there and see how much it costs. So is this black woman here, this Nikki P here in the corner, down here in the right-hand corner, is she trying to say that black people price gouge? Is that what she's saying?
Her conclusion is right, but her premise is wrong. Black people are not the only people running away from black people. When white people get money, they don't stay in the trailer parks. They go up the hills, living with people that have money. Nobody's complaining about living next to LeBron James' son and family. The thing is, you can be black first. It's a difference between black only or just rocking with black people and be black first. There's a lot of people in this space and on YouTube streets, whatever, that literally benefited from having a black-based crowd. Put a bunch of money in their pockets, help them build and solidify on this space. Of course, if you're talking about economics, it's very fair for you to not corner yourself into this little spot where you can only sell to black people, but you should take in consideration what got you there. And probably black first should be the priority, and then expand to the other communities that want to get your business like everybody else does.
So nobody.
Now, see, I agree with that to a certain point, because when you open up a business, even if it's a black-owned business, black-centered business, you still are going to take money from other groups of people. So I'm not sure exactly, why these people on this panel here, other than Fatty, because Fatty is right, why they don't think that black people will accept money from other groups. Money is money. It's green. It's what's paying your bills. It's what's growing your company. So I'm not sure why they're even having this conversation.
Voted for Obama because he was black, or voted for Kamala because he was black.
Why would you do that if it's not beneficial? If it's not the best person for the job?
It's not a question for you to ask a question. I'm just saying, like, it happens.
Yeah.
In my ignorance, I did. I was fresh out of high school.
Now, this sincerely Deja D woman, this woman right here, she's talking about voting for Obama fresh out of high school because Obama was black. I've only voted 3 times in my entire life. Twice for Obama and once for Kamala. That's who I voted for. 3 times in my entire life, and I voted all for black people.
Didn't really know much about politics, and in my ignorance, yes, I did. But what I learned.
You voted on who?
Obama.
So who was running against Obama?
At the time.
See, now Fatty, the brother up here in the corner in the red hat, top corner, he's about to lay waste to this sincerely Deja woman, because she's up here bold-faced lying. Most of these people up here are bold-faced lying. The only one who's really telling the truth, who's really getting to the point here is Fatty, and that's the brother in the red hat, red shirt.
At the time, he was better. He was the better.
Since you regret it, who was running against Obama, Miss?
Well,
Yeah, you're full of shit.
what are you talking about?
Exactly. She's full of shit. She's up here just talking these white supremacist talking points just because she hates herself. She's a self-hating black woman, like most of these people up here are. I think the only one the only one up here is not self-hating is Fatty. That's the brother in the red. All these other people are self-hating black people.
You don't know who he was running against. He ran 2 times.
Don't give me the line. But it doesn't matter. I just told you I voted for him because he was black. It don't
So
matter.
who was the other person on the other side? Since you regret it, who was voting against him? Who was on the running against him? Who was running?
She don't know.
Hillary Clinton.
She doesn't have a freaking clue.
Thank you.
Hillary Clinton is from
Hillary
the.
Clinton
Hillary is, oh my God.
He wasn't the
Hillary
best.
is a Democrat, just like him.
Yeah, it was
Jesus Christ. Hillary is a Democrat. Who
McCain.
was on the other side? You said ChatGPT. Who was on the other side? If you regret voting for a black man, who was on the other side?
Did you vote for Obama?
I mean,
Obama ran against McCain and Romney. That's what I'm saying, man. These people up here, man, they don't have a clue what they're talking about. They're just talking out loud and saying nothing.
in Portugal, I can vote, but I know who was running against him.
Shut up, dude. You have no.
Well, if I'm 5,000 miles away and I know who ran against him, why you a local? Are you shitting on the black man when you don't know who ran against him?
Well, she kind of made sense though. She didn't care who was running against Obama. It's just she voted because he was black, right? We do have people in the community be like, you know what, that person's black. Let me give them a leg up. This is a black business. Let me give them a leg up.
Well, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with voting for a black person because they're black or because that black person has a black business? What's wrong with supporting that? White people do it all the time. Why do you think all the major amount of people, white people, voted for Trump? Because Trump is a racist, and most of America is racist. So white people voted for who they're comfortable with. And I want to thank Don for coming through, bro. Thanks for coming in, man.
Like, we were talking about it, and they were saying, you know, I'm going to support black people first before anything. And I was like, I'm not going to lie. Black people has done me the worst. White people has looked out for me.
How many times have you heard self-hating coons and Aunt Jemima's always talk about how the black race treated them the worst and that the white people treated them the best? I've heard it 1,000 times from the self-hating black people. They always use the white talking point of the white man was better for me. The black man always hated on me.
When it came to corporate America, when it came to getting up there regarding certain positions, when it came to getting me referrals, and I'm like, I went to a white college, so I've been around white people, and I'm like, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I know you've been around white people all your entire life. You haven't really been around black people. And so if you've been around white people all your life and you're in corporate, and as you black people like to say, you coons, and your Aunt Jemima's like to say, that the white man is the one to do the hiring and the firing in corporate America. If you're promoted or if you're given a great review, it's probably going to be from a white person, especially if you're working in a white corporation.
I've gotten most hate from black people. Like, granted they want to bring up slavery and shit into conversations and we need reparations, but I was not a slave. I don't understand why people bring that into conversations when we have topics like that.
This Aunt Jemima Q in the top left-hand corner, she doesn't believe black people should get reparations. She's one of those black people who say, well, I wasn't a slave, so I shouldn't get reparations. She's one of them.
Like this. And then they bring up the whole, oh, well, we don't have equal rights when it comes to certain positions. I'm like, that's your fault. Like, I mean, just work harder.
Did you guys hear that? Let me rewind that a little bit. Did you hear what she just said? Oh, you just got to work a little harder. You got to pick yourself up by your bootstraps.
That's your fault. Like, I mean, just work harder. But we can't say
every peckerwood talking point that she can come up with. This woman here at the top right corner, Q, top left corner, Q, is going to spew it.
Black people do try to look out for black people because it's just ignorance to me when they say stuff like that.
So it's ignorant for black people to look out for black people. That's what she just said. That is ignorant for black people to just look out for black people. Because Asians do it. Asians look out for Asians. Hispanics look out for Hispanics. You know white people look out for white people. The only people on the planet who don't want to, who don't, well, not, I'm not going to say. I'm going to say people like Q and Anton Daniels and the rest of these coons and Aunt Jemima's on the panel. They won't look out for a black person. They won't look out for you.
Your
I
statement
think
is
it's
actually
about
wild. Your statement actually is wild, Q.
What do you mean? Which part?
Your statement is wild. So, like, black people in might support you through and through. And one thing that we have to actually talk you is about how your YouTube channel still has more subscribers than mine, and you still not been doing a job for like 3 years. What is work harder about that?
No, that's a difference.
Oh,
Men,
that's different, right?
you can't compare YouTube where you have men gawking over women. That's totally different. I'm
But you
talking
said work
about
harder.
yeah. I mean, it's YouTube. I could post a cute picture and get more likes. You can post
And
it.
that's the point. Do you think white men don't like pretty women?
Yeah, they do. But what does that have to do with corporate America? What does that have to do with what I've been supported? I'm talking about my reality. My
A lot of times it's not.
I'm sorry.
A
what?
lot of times it's not about meritocracy. It's about who you know. It's about how
Okay.
you look. It's about how you come across.
Okay, so
It's not
do
just
you
work
have-
harder. I
Okay.
would agree with you. When you said work harder, it's like, do I have to
Okay.
work harder or do I have to know Anton Daniels from AntonDaniels.com?
No, so I'm talking about corporate America. I didn't get in corporate America because of Anton.
And
So
that's
I
the same way
network.
in corporate.
So back to your networking, who you know. When I network with white people and black people, I've noticed that white people will reach out to other people to connect me with other people. Black people are usually selfish. What I've seen, they don't really want to help, and that's what I've encountered in corporate America. I don't know how corporate America is in Portugal, but that's just what I've encountered.
I know one group called the Bag Chasers, and they seem like they rock with each other, and they're all black.
Yes, that's a fact.
That's what I heard. I'm not 100%.
They aren't all black, just to let you know.
90% of them,
No.
I will say about 75% of them.
and that's still majority. That's actually a great number.
Exactly, Fatty. Excellent point. 75% of 75% of the bag chasers, which is who Anton Daniels called, the people that he worked with, bag chasers. 75% of those bag chasers who supporting Anton Daniels and this coon panel are black people. Look at the look on Anton's face when he said that. Let's rewind it just a little bit. I want you guys to look at the look on Anton Daniels' face when Fatty said, "Hey, 75% of black people is still the majority supporting your channel."
20% of them,
No.
I will say about 75% of them.
and that's still majority. That's actually a great number.
Look at Anton's face.
I agree with you, Q.
Yeah.
Like I'm in corporate and I agree. Like I do have there's definitely a few of us black women that pretty much stick together, but outside of that it's like all the other races.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what does she mean by stick together? You mean they work together? That they're the own little group, and when it goes to lunch, is that what she means by sticking together? Because most groups stick together. When you go into a lunchroom, the breakdown is going to be black people on one side, whites, Asians, Hispanics. I mean, it's just who you're more comfortable with. Now, of course, there are going to be some other races sprinkled in, or some other ethnic groups sprinkled in. But for the most part, people sit with, they lunch with, they break with people who they know, who they feel more comfortable with, and it's usually people of your own ethnic background.
Especially the black men, like they kind of look out for themselves. I'm not even gonna lie. So I don't know how it is, whatever jobs y'all do, but I even had a boss, my last boss, reach out to me today. How is everything? Hey, there's a couple positions. He figured out I got my PMP, and he's reaching out to me based on something he saw on LinkedIn.
Okay, so he's a white man, a white ex supervisor or boss or whomever. So it would make sense that he would reach out to you, especially if you've done good work for him.
I don't get that from the black people I've worked with. And that's just
Worked with, but what about as far as supervised you? Has any black man or woman supervised you?
experience. So I don't judge people based on their color, their race. I judge them based on their character. So I'm.
But that's not true. This whole entire panel is talking about being labeled black owned. Is it a dumb strategy? That's the title of this live stream that they're on. So you do judge by the color of somebody's skin because it says being black owned. Is that a dumb strategy? Or is a dumb strategy is what it says here. Being labeled black owned is a dumb strategy.
I'm not going into a restaurant because it says black owned or only white people. No, is the food good? Is the food reasonable price?
Yeah, but you wouldn't know if the food was good or if the food was reasonably priced because you're probably not going to go into a business that says black owned. So you wouldn't even know.
Like, am I going to get good service like Chick-fil-A or I'm going to get ratchet service? So
now you hear what she said. She said that she's going to get good service like Chick-fil-A. Let me show you guys something. Hold on. Let me repeat what she just said.
Price? Like, am I going to get good service like Chick-fil-A or I'm.
Now you hear what she said. She asked the question, is she going to get good service by like Chick-fil-A? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take that off the screen. I'm going to remove that panel from the screen. I'm going to bring up another video here that I want you guys to see. It's going to be very short because I'm not going to play it long. I just want you guys to meet somebody. This brother here is the person in charge. He created the customer service at Chick-fil-A, a black man.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Till. I'm the Hospitality Performance Coordinator for the Chick-fil-A brand, and it is such a pleasure to work with such a great group of guys. It is phenomenal. I've been working with the Chick-fil-A brand for about 15, 16 years. When I was actually 15, that's actually when I started working here. And but to get in this role and to work in this role as being their go-to guy for training and performance and just honing in on just the hospitality of Chick-fil-A, it's such a blessing.
That's the brother who created the customer service at Chick-fil-A, a black man. So I'm going to stop that screen and I'm going to pull back up here Anton Daniels' panel here. And we're going to continue with it here. I just want you guys to see who is the person in charge of customer service at Chick-fil-A. A black man.
I'm going to get ratchet service. So I think it's a big difference when it comes to different price. Like, am I going to get good service like Chick-fil-A or I'm going to get ratchet service? So I think it's a big difference when it comes to different work environments and people.
I think part of the problem is that the black community, I think this shows how much financial literacy we don't have, especially to narrow it.
Another white supremacist talking point, that black people don't have financial education.
Down to just the 14% of the population where you want to circulate your dollar. Because if you have any type of...
I know Asians, they circulate their dollar in the Asian community. White people do the same. Hispanics do the same. Why is it so bad for black people to do the same? This woman right here, Mali, M-A-L-I. Why is it so terrible when black people want to circulate their money in the black community?
Business mindset, you're going to try to expand. That's why all these big corporations eventually try to go global. They try to hit a bigger market. They're not catering to the smallest demographic of people. And I don't know why we try to be so race loyal. Y'all can come.
Because everyone else is race loyal. Asians, they stick together. The Hispanics stick together. White people stick together. The Eastern Indians, they stick together. The only people who don't want to stick together is people like this panel here, all except for Fatty.
Come for me if y'all want to. What has it benefited? That's all.
Because that's what everybody does.
Exactly, Fatty.
Where does the mindset come from to be when you're opening up an establishment that it has to be like catered toward a certain culture or race? Like,
that's this panel's mindset. That's what they think, that black people open up businesses only for black people. They won't accept the Asian dollar or a white person coming in spending money, or Hispanic. That's what these people here think. That if a black person owns a black business and is centered towards black people, that they won't accept money from other groups. It's crazy that these people think this way.
why would you open up a business for that? Like, why wouldn't you open up the doors, period? Like, what would be the reason you would say, hey, this is only for blacks or whatever?
Well, black people are the highest consumers. So if a black person is opening a black,
Fatty's about to lay waste to this sincerely Deja chick here, and right here. Fatty's about to lay waste into her because once again she's talking white supremacist talking points, and Fatty, the brother in the red, is about to destroy her.
we consume
white people.
We consume. Well, as our group of people do consume in the U.S., we consume the most, but we own the least. Yes, we do.
Black people.
See, that's another white supremacist talking point, that black people consume the most but own the least.
Even buy
Black people are one of the highest
rap stars. What are we talking about?
All of the white companies, big corporations, they gear towards black audiences because we are one of the top groups of consumers. That is the fact.
Tell me one industry where black people actually buy more than white people.
I couldn't tell you. I would have to look it up. But
she never has to answer. She didn't know who the president, the two people who were running against Obama for the presidency, and she doesn't have the answer for this question here either. Yet she's spewing its white supremacist talking points, but of course she doesn't have any answers. When she's pressed to give an answer, she can't come up with one.
I couldn't tell you. I would have to look it up. But one of the top groups of consumers. That is the fact.
Tell me one industry where black people actually buy more than white people.
I couldn't tell you. I would have to look it up. But and look up what group of people are consuming.
Even black music, black entertainment is bought by white people.
As far as wealth gaps are concerned, when we talk about consumers and having, black people have the least as far as income, but we consume the most.
Lady.
Again, another white supremacist talking point. That's all these people know. They repeat these white supremacist talking points on a daily on this show.
Who buys more Jordans, black people or white people?
Well, you have to look at population. So
that's the point.
I'm talking about consumers, though.
Consumer is buying things.
As far as I'm talking about, as far as You can have a person that's rich, rich. That oftentimes they're not huge consumers. They're not going to buy the Jordans. But it's us. We don't have very much money as a group, but we're going to buy the Jordans. How many times have you gone into hood or impoverished neighborhoods and seen well-to-do people? All the kids have on Jordans. They have $100 book bags. Do you get my point? Do you not? You don't live here.
And there's the point. I live in a 95% white country. Everybody has Jordans. They are consumers. The white Okay, it's just that even the things that we produce globally are not bought in majority for black people. They are bought from white people. I know there are exceptions. I will understand that a FUBU jumpsuit will be bought more for black people than white people, but overall they will consume more Jordans. They will buy Kendrick Lamar music. Didn't you saw in the Super Bowl when Kendrick Lamar were dancing? They loved necklaces, and now all the white people are all like, "What the fuck is this shit?" What? This is.
I'm gonna pause Fatty right here for a moment because Fatty is cooking. I'm gonna rewind it just a little bit, but Fatty is cooking right here. But what I want you guys to notice is Anton Daniels, and notice how silent Anton Daniels is. Now, actually, what Anton Daniels is doing right now, he's doing something smart, something very smart. That a lot of people don't understand. What he's doing, he's taking in all the information that people are saying, especially Fatty, because he wants to be able to have something that he can clap back on Fatty with. And so towards the end of this live stream, you're going to hear Anton Daniels try to clap back, but what Anton Daniels is going to say, it doesn't make sense. But that's what Anton Daniels is doing.
Music. Didn't you saw in the Super Bowl when Kendrick Lamar were dancing? They loved necklaces, and now all the white people are all like, "What the fuck is this shit?" Why? This is the numbers. White people are the biggest consumers because the power.
Population, yes. But as far as we're talking about the black dollar and whether it's profitable to target.
You're probably talking about
people.
You're probably talking about wigs, right?
Wait a minute. I'm talking about all things.
You're talking about wigs.
See, what she just said there didn't make no damn sense. Listen to what she just said again. Let me make sure listen to what she just said.
But as far as we're talking about the black dollar and whether it's profitable to target.
You're probably talking about
people.
She's saying whether or not the black dollar, if it's profitable to spend money with black people. It shit doesn't. I mean, this sincerely, Deja D, whoever she is, she needs to shut the hell up because she don't know what the hell she's talking about.
We're talking about wigs, right?
Wait a minute. I'm talking about
We're talking about wigs.
When we're talking about black people and the way they circulate their dollar is what we're talking about. And if you have a business and if you target to that group of people, would you be profitable? It's possible. Yes. Yes. Because we consume. We are buyers, but we don't own much.
You got it.
Yeah, see, I told you guys with those white supremacist talking points. We spend money, but we don't own anything. I've shown I don't know how many videos of black-owned businesses. I mean, from barbershops all the way up to multi-billion-dollar corporations. So I don't know what this woman is talking about, but like I said, she just regurgitating white supremacist talking points, and that's what this panel is full of. Other than Fatty, the rest of these self-hating black people up here are they're just repeating and spewing white supremacist talking points.
But the world consumes, so if you let the world in, you'll have more consumers.
I'm not saying to limit yourself to just the black audience, but he was saying what would be the benefit to target, just black people. And I'm just saying black people in general, they are consumers. That's the point.
I think more black businesses would be successful if they didn't only cater to black people. It's like they only cater to black people.
Show me what company that a black person has opened up and owns and only caters to black people where they won't accept anyone else's money. Show me just one company or business that won't accept money from any other ethnic group other than black people.
Because they know that a lot of black people are just going to support just because they're black. They feel like they don't have to go the extra mile to make you happy. Service is trash.
So she thinks that this is what she's really saying. This Nikki P in the top left-hand corner. So what she really is saying is that black people don't care about customer service or great customer service. That black people just accept anything. Any type of treatment, any type of customer service, black people don't care. That's what she's saying. Because if I go to a black-owned company, white, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, if the customer service is not good, I'm not coming back. But I guess she is saying that black people only cater to black people, and if you don't get good customer service, so what? Black people are still gonna come back. Shit is crazy, man.
A lot of black people are just going to support just because they're black. They feel like they don't have to go the extra mile to make you happy. Service is trash. Food is mid, but they got some good areas inside their business, so you can take pictures and post them on Instagram.
Oh yeah, but when
you see that's what these white supremacists and blackface really believe. They really believe that black-owned businesses are trash, that you don't get good customer service. You can say that for all ethnic groups. You can say that for white businesses, Hispanic businesses, Asian businesses. If the customer service is trash, it's because of the company, the business, and the people who's hired there.
Service is trash. Food is mid, but they got some good areas inside their business, so you can take pictures and post them on Instagram.
Oh yeah, but when a black man shows up with a white woman, now we have problem. And she said it. She said it on that video. She said you need to date out of the culture, do business with out of the culture. All this money shit, y'all are very okay with it.
Fatty is right, but I want you guys to notice Anton Daniels. He's taking in all this information so he can try to clap back at the end. Look at him. Look at Anton Daniels. You get to notice how people, what people do and how they react to certain things. Every time Fatty says something, you can see the change in Anton Daniels, because everybody else on the panel, of course, he agrees with. But when it comes to Fatty, he's trying to take all that information in so he can try to figure out how to clap back at Fatty, and how to attack Fatty's talking points, or Fatty's facts, I should say.
Let the guy that you want bring Becky, and let's see if you are as open as you are saying on this panel right now.
Who cares?
I don't care.
Y'all care.
I don't care.
All the time. Have you ever saw a shade room comment section after black man gets with a white woman?
Yeah, I will be honest, a lot of black women are outraged. Okay. I'm not one of those women. I could care less.
Good
yeah, they pick and choose, but if there's a Serena Williams case, they wouldn't care. So that's why it's like they're big hypocrites. But does anybody else disagree that that they think that black people should be loyal to the black community? They should give back more to the black community. Like these rappers, these famous people need to pour back into their community instead of like other like Balenciaga and all these other type of brands that aren't doing nothing for the community themselves. Anybody else?
See, let me tell you something about that as well, about this pouring back into the black community. If you're going to reinvest in the black community, you're going to do that because that's what's in you to do. There's plenty of Asian people who make money who don't pour back into the Asian community, the Hispanics, white people. It's all the same. If it's in you to put back into your community, black, Asian, white, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, whatever, if it's in you to do so, you're going to do that.
No. Okay.
The people that live in those communities need to pour into those communities and stop waiting for a savior. Because that's all that happens. They wait for somebody to come and clean it up, do this, and that, and they do not get involved. And it just gets torn up. So they need to start saving their own communities instead of looking for a handout. It just is what it is.
And it's important to note that the savior they're usually looking for is a white savior, so there's no point in limiting yourself to black people.
And it's kind of funny that the advice that Melly is giving. Just last week, I was hearing her talking about woman living at the cost of men, and the advice was not the same. The advice was get another one to subsidize your life. Go ahead and
what
get
does that have to do with
takes care of
cleaning
you.
up the black community, Fatty?
It's everybody needs to work, pick themselves by the bootstraps and work on themselves. While you don't do that, you are actually doing the opposite.
Let's let somebody from the black community in America speak on the black community.
At least I don't have a white.
You're European.
Oh, you see what I'm saying? You see how Fatty made that excellent point, and the first thing she does is attack where he lives. And because he's a black man, but he doesn't live in America, he can't talk on black people in America or the situation here in America. And that's because Fatty put her in her place, roasted her about what she was saying. What he was saying is, what you're saying, Mally, doesn't make any damn sense. And what did she do? She's straight to attacking them.
The opposite.
Let's let somebody from the black community in America speak on the black community.
At least I don't have a white.
You're
wife.
European.
And I don't have a white. At least I don't have a white wife.
Anybody else?
You might.
Go to the first topic. Nope. Okay, let me get to the super. That was just an icebreaker, y'all, to just mix it.
Now here come Anton Daniels. Now Anton Daniels wants to speak, but what he's about to say doesn't make any sense. But here comes Anton Daniels. After he took all Fatty's information in, now he thinks he's about to make some type of revelation, some type of great point. But he fails again.
It up before we get to the first topic.
Well, hold on. Let me get my thoughts on this really quickly. I just think that the point of the video of what the girl was saying is not to not have preferences, right? It's okay to have preferences, but it's also best for you to make sure that you go where you celebrate it and not where you tolerate it, right? A lot of times, even within the black community,
Why is it always go where you're celebrated and where you're not tolerated? Why is it always have to go into, you have to find that in another community? You have to find that in the white community more often than not. That's what these people are saying.
And not where you tolerate it, right? A lot of times, what I was saying is not to not have preferences, right? It's okay to have preferences, but it's also best for you to make sure that you go where you celebrate it and not where you tolerate it, right? A lot of times, even within the black community, from elementary school, middle school, high school, there's plenty of people that are outcasts from the black. See, we limited ourselves in this conversation by not exploring all of the avenues of what we experience when we grow up, for example, right? Let's say, for example, because I see the community as limiting itself.
He's about to use this old tired talking point about how black men or black women are treated by other black men, like with God, what is that guy's name? Not O'Shea. What's the other brother's name that was the founder of the Black Manosphere? God, not Angry Man. God, I forget his name right now, but he used to cry about how when he was in high school, he asked like 17, 18 black women to go to the prom with him. Obsidian, there you go, thank you. Thank you, Femi. Obsidian used to cry all the time about, especially right around prom time. He would do live streams about how 17, 18 different girls in high school, black girls in high school, wouldn't go with him, didn't go with him to the prom, and how that affected him throughout his life. Always the same old talking points with these people and examples with these people.
Even if they wanted to explore the possibility of only supporting themselves, they don't, because they segment themselves even within the community. Let's just say, for example, black, right? They don't want representation in spaces that they don't agree with. They don't empower themselves. So why should other people validate them by saying that, yes, you should do it, when they limit themselves depending on what it is that they like and they don't like? Like, I'll give you an example. When you grow up, the nerd isn't celebrated even though he's black. He could quite possibly be one of the most impactful people to the community. He could quite possibly be one of the smartest people, and instead of them and embracing that particular person, and this is how you know the culture is trash. I don't even think it's race specific, but it's a cultural difference. It's the thing that separates it. Even the very message of they not like us is dismissive of other people that could add value depending on whether or not you like them or not. You know what I'm saying? We shun the kid that may be smart as hell, but then at the same time, we don't separate it based off of black until he becomes successful. And then we say, well, why is that person separating themselves from him without first taking into consideration his experiences? You see what I'm saying? Like, why? The reason that it doesn't work, because you could get most black people, even with 13.6% of the population, you could get most black people to still be able to support itself without outside representation. It's not smart to do. It's not wise, because we're in a global game, right? Especially when you talk about, capitalism. You want to reach as many consumers as possible, but it is possible to sustain itself, but you never will, because there's so much division and hate within, depending on whether or not you actually agree with another person. Why wouldn't black people want black Republicans? To have representation within that faction so that you can have more power within. We hate ourselves.
No. You hate yourself, Anton Daniels, because the reason why there's not many black Republicans is because white people don't accept you as a black Republican. That's why. Tim Scott is the only black person on the Republican side in Congress. Well, why is that? There's never been a black man or black woman who ran for president on the Republican side. There's been a black man who's been president twice on the Democratic side. There's been a black woman just last year who's running for president on the Democratic side. But on the Republican side, you won't ever see a black man or a black woman run for president. You'll never see it. And why is that? It's because white people on the Republican side don't accept black people like that. Or they'll put you out there and let you buck dance and spew their talking points like you do, Anton Daniels. But as far as truly supporting you, they'll throw you away when you're no longer relevant, when they no longer need you. If you don't believe me, go ask Candace Owens. She'll tell you, because that's what they did to her. So that's the end of that, guys. I want to thank you guys for coming through. Let me make sure I get rid of that. Okay. So again, guys, man, that's Anton Shoeshine Boy Daniels and his panel of Aunt Jemimas and SAMBO'S, who always talk down on black people. They think they're supporting black people. They think they're trying to uplift black people. But if you listen to what they truly are saying, they're really not. They're just spewing white supremacist talking points and trying to make money off of it, just like Don said. They're just trying to make money, just like Candace Owens does, just like most of these SAMBO'S and JEMIMA'S. They're just trying to make money using white supremacist talking points. Exactly, Femi. It's all self-hate. Anton Daniels definitely hates himself. So I'm going to go ahead and get up off of this. Unless somebody wants to come up. Femi, if you want to come up, you have time. Or Don, if you want to come up, I'll hold the live stream a little longer. But if not, I'll go ahead on and just jump off of this live stream here. But it pisses me off to listen to these coons and these SAMBO'S and these Aunt Jemimas talk about black people have to work harder to get to where they need to be or to where they want to be. Do they have to? Yes, but the reason why is because of these peckerwoods who are always trying to hold black people back. I did a video here just recently, or I redid a video of white parents trying to get their dumbass children into colleges by paying for it, and how their parents end up going to prison. Not long, a month, maybe a couple of weeks or whatever, but they had to pay heavy fines to do community service because they couldn't get their dumb white kids, or the dumb white kids wasn't smart enough to get into these prestigious colleges, and so they tried to pay them, pay their way into these colleges, taking spots from other deserving people. Yeah, please do so. I should play it right now. That's what I should do. Let me go back. Let me play it for you guys. That's what I'll do. I'll play it right here, so you don't have to worry about that, fam. Let me pull it up here. Give me a moment. But see, that's the thing. That's the reason why a lot of African American children, or college age people, that's a lot of the reason why they can't get into these colleges, because you have these people who are paying to get their dumbass children in these colleges, or it's a legacy, so they just so their children get to get in that way, whether they deserve it or not. The DEI, these white DEI people. Anyway, here we go right here, Femi. I'm gonna play it for you.
Felicity Huffman talking about her arrest and incarceration in the Varsity Blues college admissions scandal.
I spoke at length with Huffman, her first and only interview. She opened up about why she did it and how the punishment she received led her to another woman who had served time, Susan Burton, who now runs an organization that's changing lives.
It felt like I had to give my daughter a chance at a future. And so it was sort of like my daughter's future, which meant I had to break the law.
See, she knew her child wasn't smart enough to get into the prestigious college that she wanted to go to, that her daughter wanted to go to, and more than likely that the parents wanted her to be in. But her daughter wasn't smart enough. So she tried to, I'll just let the video play out. I won't say another word until the video ends.
It felt like I had to give my daughter a chance at a future. And so it was sort of like my daughter's future, which meant I had to break the law.
In December of 2017, actress Felicity Huffman drove her daughter to take the SAT test. Her daughter not knowing that Huffman had paid $15,000 for someone to falsify the results.
She was going, can we get ice cream afterwards? Scared about the test. What can we do that's fun? And I kept thinking, turn around, just turn around. And to my undying shame, I didn't.
Felicity Huffman, star of Desperate Housewives, an Oscar nominee, one of 33 wealthy parents to face federal charges in Operation Varsity Blues, accused of conspiring to use bribery and fraud to get their kids into top colleges. The middleman, a self-styled college counselor named Rick Singer.
Multiple breaking stories, including actress Felicity Huffman, sentenced to 14 days in prison for her role in what authorities say is the largest college admissions cheating scam ever prosecuted. Let's go to CNN national correspondent Miguel Marquez. Tell us what happened in court today, Miguel.
Yeah, 14 days in prison, 1 year supervised release, a $30,000 fine, 250 hours of community service. All of that will send an unmistakable message to others charged in the scandal whose cases will be heard in this same courthouse.
Felicity, anything to say today? Felicity Huffman, hand in hand with her husband, actor William H. Macy, entering a federal courthouse in Boston to learn her fate. Huffman addressing the court through tears. She apologized to the judge, her daughters, and husband, saying she's ashamed of her behavior, recounting how one of her daughters told her, "I don't know who you are anymore, Mom." She also said she was driving her daughter to the testing center. She thought to herself, "Turn around, just turn around." And to my eternal shame, she says, "I didn't." Huffman concluded by saying she takes full responsibility. Any regrets? They avoided the crush of cameras at court by appearing via Zoom amid the
Now, this is another mother and father, white person, white people, who paid to get their children into prestigious colleges. This is a different person. This is Lori Loughlin, another actress.
Any regrets? They avoided the crush of cameras at court by appearing via Zoom amid the pandemic. But actress Lori Loughlin and husband Massimo Giannulli could not steer clear of prison. Loughlin sentenced today to 2 months, a $150,000 fine, and 100 hours of community service. Wiping away tears, Loughlin told the judge, "I thought I was acting out of love. I am truly and profoundly sorry." But the judge, who said he was dumbfounded, called her life a fairy tale. "You stand before me a convicted felon. And for what? The inexplicable desire to grasp even more. We can only hope you will spend the rest of your charmed life to make amends."
This judge was definitely making an example out of Lori today by going over all of the opportunities and all of the privilege she's had in life.
Anything to say about the allegations?
With Giannulli sentenced to 5 months, a $250,000 fine, and 150 hours of community service, prosecutors say he took a more active role as the wealthy couple gamed the system, even posing their daughters as elite crew recruits while paying $500,000 to cheat their way into USC. Both girls dropped out of school. Their parents will need to report to prison in 90 days. Giannulli also apologized, but the judge blasted back, saying the crime was motivated by wanton arrogance resulting from excessive pride. Loughlin, most famous for her role on Full House, which featured a family living here in San Francisco, will soon be a long way from a TV set. She could serve out her sentence in a prison in the desert of Southern California.
So there you go. White people paying to get their dumbass children into prestigious colleges, taking away spots that other more deserving people should have been at. Should have been. And then you got these clowns like Anton Daniels and the rest of these self-hating coons on here talking about you have to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You just got to work harder. And Fatty was up there telling them, no, sometimes it's just who you know, or if you have enough money, or if you're a legacy admittance. So that's why I say whenever I hear somebody talking about pull yourself up by the bootstraps or work hard, I know they full of shit. Hey, they try to say that Kamala Harris wasn't qualified. They try to say that Jasmine Crockett isn't qualified. Yet you got clowns like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Lauren Babbitt, whatever her name is. No qualifications whatsoever. Just God, what is that? They're still, that's not ex-whites. They're still white supremacists, but they also believe in conspiracy theories too. No qualifications whatsoever. None that would match Kamala Harris's or Jasmine Crockett's credentials. Not even close. But yet they're going to try to say that they're not qualified. This clown Anton Daniels said that those women were not qualified. And just both happen to be black women. But he doesn't talk about the qualifications or the lack thereof of a Marjorie Taylor Greene or a Lauren Bobbitt. They're just self-hating. That's all it is. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming through. Chaos Rain, brother, thanks for coming in. Femi, sister, thanks for coming through. Dawn, I want to thank you for coming through as well. People who watched this live stream, thanks for watching it. Thanks for coming over, supporting. If you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming through again. I'm out. Take care. Be safe.
D.O.D. What's up? What's up? That's my boy. I love his content, by the way. Y'all got to check out my boy D.O.D.